What's going on? Welcome to another episode of Hip Hop Made Me Do It. I know I've been kind of MIA for a week or two, but I'm back with a brand new story, live in the flesh. Here I am about to give y'all another dope story. But before I do that, let me remind all of y'all, please like this video. It's very important for y'all to like this video because the more people that likes this video, the more people will see this video. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm gonna need about 100,000 likes on this. Now I know I'm not even gonna get a tenth of that, but I was always taught that if you shoot for the sky, if you shoot for the moon, then you'll get to the sky, or you'll reach the, something like that. You understand what I'm trying to say, right? But make sure you like this video, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe. I know a lot of y'all watch my videos and are not subscribed. It's cool, but make sure to let's today be the day that you subscribe. And before I move forward, let me shout out the sponsor for this video, Citizen app. Citizen app is a really dope app. It keeps citizens safe and informed of what's going on in the neighborhood, and it reports all the crimes or incidents that's going on in the neighborhood, so you know exactly what's going on in your area. You know what I'm saying? It keeps you safe, it keeps your kids safe, it keeps everybody, the whole community, all the citizens safe. So make sure you download the Citizen app, and the link will be in the description below. So, today's story. Today's story is about a time when I came out of juvie. I did about, I would say 18 months. I did like an 18-month bid in juvenile, and I was like high school, like first year of high school, second year of high school. And I had just came home, but before I went home, they put me into a group home, right? So it was like a step down, lockdown, and then they go into a group home, and then from there you go home. So I went into a group home, and there was a bunch of kids in there. Some kids I knew, some kids I didn't. But then it was in the middle of Brooklyn. It was Flatbush, Brooklyn, right? And I don't know anybody in that area. I never even been in that area, I don't think, right? So the day that I came home, my mother came. She came, dropped by, and brought me a whole bunch of clothes. So she knows I like clothes, so she went shopping for me and bought me a bunch of dope things. One of the things that she bought me was this jacket, a yellow, white. It was a dope ass Tommy Hilfiger jacket, right? It was leather on the sleeve, yellow right here, like a Letterman jacket. And it was the same jacket that Method Man wore on a music video. I think it was DMX, Method Man, and a few other people that was in this song. It was like a Space Jam song or something like that for the movie. So I remember he had that jacket on, and my mom gave me the same jacket, and I was OD hype. Like, I love clothes. I loved clothes since I was a kid, and also, like, you know what I mean? When I walked into the group home with it, I had it on. Everybody was like, yo, that jacket's fire, that jacket's fire. The jacket was super dope, right? So, the next day, I go to my school. So they had me going to a school around that area, which was called Erasmus High School, right? So Erasmus High School was, at that time, it was the 90s, it was wild. That school was wild. It was just a lot of things going on. When I walked in there, I mean, even going inside, like, I was like, wow, yo, this looks like a jail. You know what I'm saying? They had the magnetometers going inside. It was just like, and everybody just looked, it looked like a prison. It looked like I just came from where I came from. You know what I'm saying? Lockup. So I walked inside, and I noticed I had this Tommy Hilfiger jacket on. And I noticed as I'm walking down the hallway, everybody's kind of giving me this look, like, you know what I mean? As I'm walking by, dudes is giving me a look, girls is giving me a like, oh, but I knew it was like, I felt the tension, you know what I'm saying? Especially, I was like the only Asian person in that entire school. There were probably two other Asian people in there. They didn't speak English, you know what I'm saying? So here I am, one of the only Asian people in there, walking, looking fresh as hell. So I'm getting people's attention. So now, I do the whole day of school, whatever. And then as we're leaving school, I get with some people that was in the group home with me together, so I'm walking with them. And as I'm walking out of the school, I remember there was a group of kids just standing there, and they was grilling me. And if you don't know what grilling is, they're just staring at me, looking at me like, you know what I mean? And one kid was just looking at me hard, looking at my jacket, looking down, like looking up and down. And I just looked back at him, like, you know what I mean? Because if I see him looking, I'm not gonna look. I don't want to seem like I'm gonna be looking away or like I'm scared. So I just kept on looking at him too. And eventually, I just kept it moving. So one of the people that I was with, he stopped and started talking to him. And I seen from afar, I seen like, yo, he was talking, he was kind of gesturing to me. So whatever. We get on the bus to get back to the group home, and the kids was like, yo, son, I think his name was JR or something like that, was like, oh, he was looking at you, he's talking about you, and I guess he was like, somebody in that school. I guess he was a feared guy, whatever, and he was a Jamaican kid, right? So they was like, yo, they gonna rob you. They ain't like you was looking at them. They gonna press you and shit like that. So I'm just like, all right, whatever. So then my man heard that. So this is back in the group home. So somebody that I was with in another jail, somebody I was with in one of the lockup centers, the detention centers. I believe his name was, what was his name? I want to say his name was, I forgot his name, right? But he pulled up on me. He heard what was going on. And then, when I went into my room, he came and he was like, yo, what's up? What happened? So I'm like, yeah. Dude's trying to press me like, just looking at my jacket and stuff, whatever. So he like, damn, I wish I was going to that school. You know what I'm saying? But he went to a whole different school. So he's like, yo, he's like, you got something? And I was like, nah. So he went to his like locker and brought out like not a switchblade, but a razor blade. So one of them silver things, and you just push up and the razor comes out. So he gave that to me. It was like this big. He gave it to me, and I put it in my pocket. So in my mind, I'm like, yo, I'm not gonna let nobody take nothing from me. You know what I'm saying? Because I just came from juvenile detention. And I know, like, yo, once you do that, you can't do that. You can't do that. So you're gonna have to fight for your shit. You know what I'm saying? Or else you're just gonna be a victim throughout the whole stay in jail, and that's gonna be the same thing in school. So I went to school the next morning, and before I left my room, I picked up the razor, and I put the razor in between my belt buckle, right? So it's like my belt buckle's here, I put it right here, so it fits right here, but it's sticking out a little bit. So if I needed to, I could just grab it, right? So I go to school, I get on the bus, I get off the bus, and as soon as I get off the bus, the school's right here, and there's like a store over here somewhere, right? So I get off, and there's a bunch of kids standing in front of the store, and guess who was standing in front of the store? The kid JR, and a whole bunch of other kids. So I'm walking by, and I see him, but I'm gonna act like I don't see him, you know what I'm saying? And in my mind, I was like, all right, something. So when I got off the bus, there was a bunch of kids standing in front of the store, right? The school is right here, and there's a store right here. So I went out, and there was a bunch of kids standing in front of the store, and guess who's standing in front of, who's one of those kids? It was that kid JR, right? With a bunch of other kids. It was probably like 7 of them. So I'm walking by, I see him, but I acted like I didn't see him. I kept on walking, I walked by, and I felt them, I felt it all here, you know what I'm saying? I felt the tension all beaming on me. I walked inside the store, and then as I'm walking by them, I just knew. I'm like, something's about to happen right now, because I could tell by their, like, just their gesture, and, you know, I just felt it. So I went inside the store, and I ordered, you know, a bagel or something, but my heart was pounding and my adrenaline was pumping so much that I didn't even want to just stand in the store. And I seen some of the kids walk inside the store, and I peeped them. When I'm looking at the glass, I can see, like, the kids walking in. So I'm like, I just started moving. I just started walking out the door. I walked out the door, but instead of walking towards the school, I made a right and started walking, like, I made a right, and then I walked down the block. So when I made that right, I heard somebody like, yo. And then when I turned around, I seen somebody try to grab me by my book bag, right? So by that time, I already had, because I felt when I walked out of the store, I took the razor out of my belt buckle, right? I took the razor out of my belt buckle, and I flicked it up, so the razor's sticking out. So I walk in with it, and I had it like cuffed, like my hand like this. I had it cuffed like down, walking. And then when somebody was like, yo, I turned around. He kind of tried to grab me, but I spent like a little bit, so he couldn't really grab me. And when I spent this way, he came a little closer, trying to like reach a little bit more in. And as soon as he did that, I just turned around and just boom. And I felt it. Like I felt the razor break the skin. And when I ripped it, I also felt the razor ripping the skin, like, you know what I'm saying? And then he was like, oh shit. And then I pushed him, and then I seen all the kids. I just saw all the kids coming there, and I just started running. I ran so fast. I don't think I ever ran faster in my life. I jetted down the block. I'm running. And it was cold. It was like December time. So there was like a little ice on the floor and all that. The floor was slippery, but I'm running, and I'm just like, I kind of slipped a little bit on the car, but I caught myself on the car, and I just started running again, but I heard one of the kids fall. Boom! And I'm running. I'm running for my life, because I know if these kids catch me, they're gonna beat me up bad. But I had this razor on. I wasn't letting go of the razor. So if they did catch to me, I was going to cut somebody else. And I felt like they also knew that I was going to cut them, because I just cut one person. So, you know what I mean? I'm just running. And I seen a hospital, right? So I ran towards the hospital, and there's like security right there. So I ran towards the hospital, past the security, and they kind of stopped. So when they stopped, I just caught my breath, like, and then they was like, we don't catch you. So I'm looking at them, and I couldn't even speak nothing. I couldn't say nothing. I just stuck my middle finger up, catching my breath and shit. You know what I'm saying? Because they see the security car right there, and they wasn't trying to do nothing right there. So I was just like, I gave them the middle finger, like, fuck you. You know what I'm saying? And then they left, and I told, I was like, yo, the security was like, yo, you all right? Yo, what's going on? I'm like, nah, nothing, it ain't nothing. But, so they was like, they brought me inside the hospital, and then one of the workers there was like, yo, how old are you? And I'm like, oh, I'm not from here. I'm 14 or wherever the fuck. And they was like, damn, where you from? And I was like, I'm in the group home. And one of them offered to drive me back to the group home. So he drove me back to the group home. And I went inside the group home, but I knew, like, there's no way I could go back to that school, because I didn't know anybody in that school. I didn't know anybody, and I knew that after I cut one of them, like, they're gonna, you know what I mean? They're not gonna play with me. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, I can't go back to that school. They're gonna be waiting for me. So what happened was I went back in to the group home. Nobody knew what happened. And I went inside my room, and the dude that I knew, he comes in the room that gave me the razor, and I told him what happened. And I'm sitting on my bed, and I'm just like, Mind you, I ain't been in that group home for a week. I haven't been in that group home for a week, but I realized I couldn't stay there because there's no way I could go back to the school. So I started putting everything in my bags. And then I told them, yo, I'm out. You know what I'm saying? So I waited for them to do the count. And I hopped out the window. And I just jetted. I left. I had my bags. And I ran away from the group home. And when you run away from the group home, they immediately put like a AWOL on you. So now they're gonna be looking for you. So now so I had to go back into Chinatown to the gang apartments because that was the only place I had to stay. So I went back into the apartments, gang apartments in Chinatown, and yeah, I didn't last too long because I got arrested again, and then I had to go back inside. So yeah, that was my story. That's my story when I went to the one day that I went to Erasmus High School in Brooklyn, and when my time in the group home. You know what I mean? I hope you enjoyed the story. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and I will catch you on the next episode of Hip Hop Made Me Do It. Let's get it.